Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Pacemaker Cluster on SUSE and OpenSUSE. So in this episode again we'll be discussing about the cluster implementation requirements, and this is the part 3 of this series. And before starting with the part 3, let me welcome you to my YouTube channel, that is Stitch Tech Institute. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to it and also press the bell icon and select all notifications so that you get updates about all the videos and don't miss any new videos. So let's start with the tutorial. So if you are following our video, so you know already we have covered the overview of implementation process in our part 1 video, and in part 2 video we have discussed about what are all required parameters you need to collect before proceeding with the designing of HA and implementing of HA cluster. So in this episode we will be discussing about the determining expectation. So what all expectation customer has and whether those are realistic or not, those things will be seen here. So in this part 3, first thing we'll see what all things you need to consider, right? So the aim here is to implement a cluster to increase the service availability. That aim should not be like to get more business out of customer, because if you are implementing a cluster that needs next level of skill set, so you can charge more money from that. It should not be like that. Main aim for this implementation should be to implement a cluster to increase the customer service availability and customer satisfaction, happiness from the solution. And you should remember a cluster is more complicated than a single server. So if you are going with single server, there you have a problem, like if server is down you lose your service and it will be down for some time. And if you are going with cluster, again it more complicated, you should have skilled employees to handle that. So these things you need to keep in mind. And as I was telling you, if single server you are implementing your application, if that goes down, then there will be no service availability. And one more thing you need to ask here and think about, do you really need 5 nines? So this 5 nines is a like availability where you have like in a year around 18 or 20 minutes of downtime, if I am not wrong. So very less downtime you will have if you are going with 99.999% uptime. So and to achieve this you should have proper highly available systems. Every point you have to consider, so it increase the cost also and complexity also. So you always should ask your customer, do they really need these 5 nines? And one more thing you need to keep in mind, so if you are designing some HA cluster where your service is active only on a single node, then there will be a delay after the service failure. So customers should be aware of that. There should not be an impression like, okay, I have cluster implemented, so there will be zero downtime. It's not never zero. Whenever there will be a failover from one node to another node, so it will be down in one, it will go down gracefully in one node, then it will move to another node and get start there. So it has some transition time, 5-10 minutes at least. So that thing you should clearly communicate and document it while handing over to customer. So then one more thing you need to remember, not all services support multiple active instances. So if you want to avoid the previous scenario where your cluster reconfigures itself and start the service in another node and which makes a delay, if you want to overcome that, you some service case you can go with the active, so it will be failing over directly to that active node. So it will not be much downtime, but again not all services support that active scenario. Like if you are going with NFS doesn't support active. So in that case you have to go with the active passive, and you will have that transition time delay while there is a failover or failback in NFS cluster. Now moving ahead, once you consider those things, second thing you need to focus, that's like setting up a realistic expectation. So most of the time what happens, business simply comes back and say like I need 5 nines or 99.99% availability. So this is always initial answer, so you have to evaluate that, you have to discuss with them and understand do they really need this, because if you want to achieve these 5 nines, you have to spend much more money compared to putting it as standalone server or normal system. So you have to discuss on this point, and this 5 9 became a gold standard for most of the production deployment. So most of the customer they want to achieve this when they go ahead with their production deployment. And this initially started into telecom industries to minimize the downtime, but now most of the industries they're also following this. And you have to also have a discussion on the service availability and what's the customer's view on that. So without having customer's view and understanding the impact, you cannot properly calculate the service availability and how critical that is. And also you have to have a discussion on RTO and RPO. So you all, if you don't know what is RTO and RPO, you can see our previous videos where we have discussed what is RTO, that is recovery time objective, and RPO is recovery point objective. First one is the time required to recover from a failure. Second one is like amount of data you may lose in case there is a failure. So you have to have a proper discussion and realistic expectation on RTO and RPO. Now this realistic expectation sometimes have a clash with some factors, so which you need to consider. First thing is like budget. So depend on budget, you have to set your expectation. Suppose you have 10 rupees in your pocket and you want to get a solution which is 100 rupees costly, then you cannot do that. So you have to plan this budget, and also you have to consider your schedule maintenance time. So this is like a planned downtime which are widely accepted and scheduled after business hours, and customer usually don't mind on this schedule activities which are scheduled outside the business hours or on weekends and have minimum impact on their business. So one more thing you need to consider that when you go ahead with a cluster, it adds more complexity and that make it more probability for failure. So suppose if you are putting a junior engineer to manage your cluster, chances are he don't know much in depth on the cluster part and he also can make a failure. So this complexity also uh, calls your higher probability of failure. So you need to keep these factors in your mind when setting up the expectation. And also you have to have a discussion on the percentage of downtime caused by human errors. As I was telling you in the previous example, like if engineer, if he do some mistake, he may cause the downtime. So we have to have a discussion on this impact of human errors on the downtime. And to mitigate that, you can do like adding some training so that they can handle it in a better way, and you should can have proper change control so that it goes through proper approval mechanism and audit of the change, and to evaluate whether the change is going to be successful or failure. So you can have a proper change control following ITIL process. Then you can have a proper monitoring. So monitoring, if you are having a proactive monitoring, you can detect a failure, possible failure before it occurs, and you can avoid the downtime or unwanted failures. Also you can have a post-mortem of previous failures to understand why they failed, what was the likely cause. So that you can say is another word like RCA. So you should have the proper RCA and find out what all gaps you have in your operations or human interaction to the system, so that you can fix them. And at last, you can implement automation as much as possible. So if you are having automation follows always a defined process, don't deviate from the process. So if you are setting it up properly, automate it, chances will be it will reduce the failures and impact on the business. So that's all for today. Hope you understand how you can determine the expectations while having a discussion with customer to implement HA cluster on their environment for their production systems and plan accordingly. So we will see you in our next video where we will be discussing about how you can plan the storage. So till that time, uh, have patience and be safe, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.